If you create content on platforms like Medium, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, now I get it. It can be very disappointing to spend 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours creating content you think is one of your best content, only for your content to get no likes, no comments, no feedback from the platform at all. Nothing can be as frustrating as it is. It is like being in a stadium that is 80,000 capacity full and screaming and nobody is paying attention. But one of the things I realized in 5 years of writing as a professional and seeing other people writing on the internet is that there are often obvious signs that your content is not going to do well, but many times people ignore these signs. And in this video, I'm going to show you 4 obvious signs your content is not going to do well. The moment you pay attention to these signs and you fix it, I guarantee you will begin to get different results on these platforms. So what are these 4 obvious signs? The first obvious sign your content will not do well is a platform content mismatch. Every platform has its unique features. So how you create content on LinkedIn is not how you create content on Medium. For example, if you're writing on Medium, the way to write on Medium is to firstly have your headline, the big bold text, and then the subtitle followed by your picture. I will often advise my students to use a landscape image so that when readers see your content, the screen captures your headline, your subtitle, the image, and a few texts at the beginning of your article so that people can see about the 4 features of your article and decide if the content is for them. But often new writers on Medium just come and they begin to write their content, then they put their picture somewhere in the middle, or sometimes they write their headline and they are not using the H1. Sometimes the articles do not have the subtitle and they are wondering why people do not read the article. You are not writing to fit the platform. If you're writing on LinkedIn, for example, the LinkedIn interface has a format of image that fits into it. If you choose an image that does not fit into the format, your content will not show well to your readers and they will likely skip the content. Also, for example, your block of text on LinkedIn will not be the same as that on Medium. On Medium, your paragraph may be at least 5, 6, 7 lines long, but on LinkedIn, you cannot afford to have a 6, 7, 8 line of text. It will look like a brick and it will be very unappealing to the eyes. So ensure that you learn how a particular platform works, what works on the platform, and tailor your content to suit the platform. The second obvious sign that your content will not work is what I call the content audience mismatch. Many people write good content for the wrong audience, or they write the wrong content for the right audience. One of the reasons your content may not be getting engagement is because you're saying the right thing, but the people in your audience are not your target audience. Let's say, for example, you are a writer and you want to speak to C-suite executives, but on LinkedIn you have 500 connections and all of the 500 are web designers, graphic designers, project managers. Chances are that your content will bounce back to you because you are creating the right content, but the audience that should be reading the content are not currently in your network. So you need to ensure that every day you're connecting with the right people that you want your content to appeal to. It is the same thing also on Medium, which is why I often also discourage follow for follow. So on Medium, a lot of people do follow for follow. You follow me, I follow you. The result is in the end, you have 500 people following you on Medium, but none of the 500 are interested in your content because they did not follow you because they are interested in the value that you create. They followed you because you followed them and they followed you. No single interest in your content. If you're going to build a brand on any social media platform, ensure that you're building the brand the proper way. Ensure that people are following you because of the value that your personal brand creates and they are always looking forward to your content. So the second reason is a content audience mismatch. If the audience you currently have do not have interest in your content, you will get no engagement. And because I do not like mentioning the problem without providing the solution, if you want to solve problem 1 and 2, check the description section. I have a guide for you that walks you through how to determine your message, the audience, and the platform fits. Alright, that will help you set a good foundation for building your brand on the internet. The third obvious reason your content is likely to fail is if your headline and your hook is boring. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Every time people scroll through their feed, they see hundreds and thousands of content. What are like the chances that people will stop to read your content? The chances are very slim, which is why if you do not make an impression when people see your title, they will scroll past your article. I often advise my students to take more time creating their title than they spend in writing the body content, because if your title does not hook the people in, your content is dead on arrival. And what if you hook people in? The beginning of your article must be so captivating that the people cannot tune off and go do something else. It's like when you watch a movie and then you watch one episode and the suspense leads you into the second and to the third and to the fourth. That is the way you must write if you will grab the attention of people. So you must ensure that you think through your headline so that you can write a headline that your target audience will see and they will stop scrolling and want to read your article. And if you need help writing headlines that stops the scroll, check the description section. I have a guide for you that contains over 100 tested and proven headlines that you can begin to use for your article beginning from today. The fourth and the last reason your content may not get engagements is if your content always barely scratches the surface. If your content has no value, you must ensure your content delivers on the promise in the headline. This is what will keep people coming to your profile to come read your stuff. The truth is, there is nothing we're saying today that someone has not said before, even the things I'm saying in this video. But because people weren't paying attention, we need to say it again. And aside from that, if I say a thing and you say a thing, chances are that we will say it differently because of our different realities and context. So when people read your content, they want to see your view. They want to hear your view about that particular subject, and that is why you cannot afford to make your content average. If you fix those 4 things, I guarantee you stand a better chance of people seeing your content, clicking your content, reading your content, and engaging with your content. And gradually, you can begin to build your brand on any of the platforms that you've chosen. Again, the materials that I referred to, check the description section, and you will find the links to go check out the materials and start creating better content on Medium, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and any other platform where you have decided to build a personal brand. If you found this content valuable, like this video, leave me a comment if you have any question, and subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so that every time I record a video like this, you will be notified.